Welcome to the MLMSuccess.com podcast, the show designed to return the network marketing industry to its roots of personal growth, leadership development, and wisdom of the ages success principles. We share with you real success stories from real people that we hope will inspire and encourage you personally and help you progress forward in your business and your life. We believe if you build people, people will build the business. Now here is your host, who has been called the number one mind in network marketing, the MLM Prophet, network marketing virtual mentor, and a host of other names that we will not mention because this is a family show. Frankly, he's just a small town guy that figured out that the real product in network marketing is people. Dale Calvert.
Hey, this is Dale Calvert. I'd like to welcome you to this session of the MLMSuccess.com, MLMSuccess.com podcast. The title of this session is Unstoppable Confidence, how to really create unstoppable confidence in your life and in your network marketing business. I've been thinking about this a lot the last several months and a lot of different conversations with several different people. And ultimately what led to this podcast is basically through a conversation with someone and received an outline and a flow chart of a very well-known network marketing trainer who has a course named Unstoppable Confidence. And I looked at the flow chart and I thought, it's just not it. That is not true. And not that I believe the person is lying, but I think it takes into consideration the real challenge that we've had in the profession over the last 15 to 20 years. It's assuming that network marketers are recruiting network marketers. Network marketers are recruiting network marketers. And my whole thought process is, and I've communicated multiple times, the company, the organizations that can get outside the network marketing niche and enroll the millennials and the mom and pops that have never been involved in this business or never even seen the business. And really there's some people, a lot of people, a lot more than we think, have never even heard of MLM or network marketing, and develop those people and develop homegrown leaders are the ones that win and win big and will really win big in the future of this profession. So I want to talk about unstoppable confidence because I think that there's nothing more important in this profession. And I didn't realize it at the level that I see it now. And again, I think the older you get, you start to recognize things in yourself. And I didn't realize the lack of confidence, the need to be accepted, to be part of something that most people have formed in their life by the time they're 12 years old. And a lot of different thoughts have gone into this particular episode, and I think it's going to be very valuable. I hope it's one that you will share with people on your team, and that it'll be a very positive resource for you as you continue to build your business and grow forward. So let's talk about why I needed to the flow chart that I saw. We'll just talk about that. So the flow chart is how to develop unstoppable confidence. And again, this is not from me, okay? But this is what the flow chart said that was sent to me. If you're skillful, you'll be confident. If you're confident, you'll take action. If you get good results, then those good results lead to positive feedback, income, and the ability to help others, and then you just repeat. Now, I could argue this all day long, but I can argue it all day long. But it starts with, if you're skillful, you'll be confident. One of the biggest challenges of this profession is people that enter it skillful with transferable skills. They enter it with transferable skills. they've been involved in maybe sales before. Maybe they sold real estate or insurance, or they owned a business, what have you. And again, that's 3% of the population. 3% of the people that get involved in network marketing have transferable skills that they bring to the industry, and they're able to get something started. Down the road, they have all kinds of problems, all kinds of challenges, because most of the people in their team don't have the transferable skill set, mindset, credibility, whatever, that they entered the profession with. The biggest mistake people do, and people try to do, is build a network marketing team based upon the skill sets and mindsets that you enter the profession with, because this is a different ball game. Ultimately, it ain't about you. It's about what can be duplicated. That's the game. Y'all have heard me say this 10,000 times. So I want to go through this again, and then I'm going to give you the real outline, and then we're going to talk about it. If you're skillful, you'll be confident. I agree. If you're confident, you'll take action. I don't really agree with that. Confidence doesn't lead to action. Confidence doesn't lead to action. Belief leads to action. I'll just say that, and we're going to talk more about it. Confidence, there's a lot of confident people that join companies but still don't take action. They're confident, but they don't necessarily take action. Belief leads to action, and there's 4 beliefs. There's a lot of confident people that enter network marketing companies because their Aunt Mary convinced them to, but they don't believe in the company, so they won't take action. So confidence doesn't lead to action. Belief leads to action. But again, this is way ahead of the whole process. If you're confident, you'll take action. If you take action and get results, and get good results, then you'll get positive feedback, and you'll make money, and you'll be able to help others, and then you can repeat the process. You'll keep doing it. Okay, if you take action, you don't have to have good results immediately as you're refining your skill sets, because the law of averages dictates that if you continue to take action, that you can make up in numbers what you lack in skill until your skills are developed. So depending upon somebody to go in, and again, I agree with this from the standpoint that most people that quit network marketing quit during their first 3 days, because they go in the marketplace unskilled, talking way too much, trying to convince people to buy, sell, or join, and they get verbally puked on for, not literally, but no, I'm not interested. That's one of those things, the negativity that everybody runs into, and then emotionally, mentally, psychologically, they're out of the game. They realize it's not the lottery ticket they had hoped for. So I want to get much deeper than this flow chart, and I want to really, really give you, I'm going to give you the pattern that I believe is based upon wisdom of the ages principles. And again, I'm somebody that believes that, there's no long-term goods that are going to come out of network marketers just recruiting each other over and over and retreading existing distributors from deal to deal to deal, as I've talked about multiple times. So here's the proven, predictable path to team building, confidence, and success. This is it. And again, I would love to debate this with anybody, anytime, anywhere. If I'm missing something, let me know. I depend upon it. But this is the path. Belief. Belief, it all starts with belief. Napoleon Hill told us what the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. So I'm going to get deeper in this in a minute, but belief ultimately leads to action. If people don't think they can, they will not. They will not take action if they don't believe. Belief leads to action. Consistent action develops skill development. The more you do anything, the more skillful you become at it. I don't care if we're talking about playing a musical instrument, riding a bicycle, driving a car, you name it. Consistent action creates skill development. When you're skilled, and you do the numbers, skill development will create positive results. The law of averages tells us that. Positive results create confidence. So positive results create confidence. And that's why you have morons that get in the profession and they get lucky and have positive results in the beginning, and they never grow or develop any much beyond that except through osmosis. And, but they have a title because they got lucky and hit two key people in the same week they started. And we've all seen these stories. I was listening to a podcast briefly till I had to turn it off. And, the podcast host asked this network marketing guru what books she recommended. And she's a top money earner in her company. You know what she said? Well, I don't really read a lot. I haven't read a lot since college. I'm saying, what did you just say? I don't read a lot. I haven't read a whole lot since college. I'm not really a reader. Well, what podcast do you listen to? Well, I didn't even really know what a podcast was until you invited me to be on it. If I was that host, I would be melting in my chair. But anyway, let me get back. Positive results creates confidence, and once you have confidence, then you can expand your marketing methods. And when you start expanding your marketing methods and your lead generation methods, then you'll create a growing team. And once you have a growing team, all your reasons can be fulfilled with the network marketing business model. So that's it. Belief leads to action, leads to consistent action, which leads to skill set development, which leads to positive results, because the law of averages dictates that it will. And positive results lead to confidence, which leads to the ability to expand your marketing methods, create a growing team, and fulfill every reason you came into the industry for. So let's get into a little bit more detail, because I want this to be a valuable resource for you guys. And I would ask you, just listening, how confident are you as a person on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself? And then we got to realize that confidence can be broken down into multiple different categories, like how confident are you as a parent, as a grandparent, as a driver, as a public speaker, as someone who can bake desserts. I can't boil water, much less a tasty dessert. But some people are awesome at cooking, but they're not, that you wouldn't say that they're a confident person. But when it comes to baking, they're confident. So confidence is not just, it's broad. It's a broad topic, but it can be very niched down as well, depending upon who we are in our life and what we enjoy and what we don't enjoy, and so on and so forth. But overall, we can all rate ourselves as confidence, our confidence level from 1 to 10. But people with low self-esteem tend to see the world as a hostile place and themselves as a victim, where they have absolutely no control. As a result, they're reluctant to express and assert themselves. They miss out on experiences and opportunities and feel powerless to change things. All of this lowers their self-esteem still further, sucking them into a downward spiral. That's from Psychology Today. I believe that people take control of their life and their business when they believe that they can, that at some point they just decide and believe, I'm going to take control of my life and my business. And those that don't end up living their last years in a state of what psychologists call wistful regret, where they say, if only I'd done this, why didn't I join that? If I could have stayed connected with this person, if I could have done that. And they live their life. Nursing homes are full of people that are living their life in a state of wistful regret. It's sad, but it's true. So the choices really are to take control of your life and your business, or think everything is outside of your control, be a victim, and end up in a state of wistful regret. I really believe that. You know, a universal truth, the Bible says it, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. As people think, men, women, as we believe, so are we. It's just the way it's kind of been set up. William Shakespeare said, our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt. Harv Eker said, successful people have fear, successful people have doubts, and successful people have worries. They just don't let these feelings stop them. And that's good. This is a quote from Christine Graham, who said, confidence is not, they will like me. Confidence is, I'll be fine if they don't. One of our training club members just pulled this from a Facebook page, and I thought this was pretty cool. Bernadette said, this is what Dale's been telling us all the time, and it's got this person on the tight wire, and it says, on the other side of fear is freedom. Man, I believe that. On the other side of fear is freedom. Everything that we want to accomplish is outside our comfort zone. You know, the Dalai Lama said, with realization of one's own potential, that you do have potential, and self-confidence in one's ability, one can build a better world. That's wisdom of the ages stuff, guys. It's just wisdom of the ages. It truly is. And then the guy that we're working with right now, an old friend that we've reconnected with and working with, Gordy Alderson. Gordy said, I learned how to turn fear into fun. Man, I love that, because most people are bound by their fears. And I'll tell you what really, another thing that really caused me to say, you know, this is something I really need to talk about and really need to try to communicate the very best of my ability. A lot of you've probably heard of Dan Sullivan. He's one of the most revered traditional business coaches in the world. Dan's been around a long, long time. And I was reading an article, and he talked about the 10 secrets to success for today's entrepreneur. That was the name of the article, and it listed 10 things. Number one, according to Dan, and I want you to really listen to these words. He said, life is a confidence game. Those who create it win. Those who neglect it lose. And I want you to really think about the two words, create and neglect. And if confidence is something that you feel like you have an issue with, let me ask you, are you neglecting the creation of your own confidence? It's pretty deep. Are you neglecting the creation of your own confidence? Life is a confidence game. Those who create it win. Those who neglect it lose. It's just wisdom of the ages, guys. It sincerely is. You know, network marketing is the greatest personal development program in the world with a compensation plan attached. That's what network marketing is. Most people live in a state of not smart enough, not talented enough, not pretty enough, not good enough, and so on and so forth. We lived in these program perceptions about who we are, what we're capable of, what we're not capable of, and those program perceptions determine what box we live in as far as our upside potential. I understand, and we've talked about, those of you, many of you are a member of our Programming Your Mind, ProgrammingYourMind.com. You're members of that training system that we're developed and continually add new content all the time. And you understand that we as human beings, most of us, by the time we're 12 years old, we've been programmed about our future and what we're capable of by our parents, society, and authority figures. Have programmed us about where we're going, what we're capable of doing. And if you make yourself take consistent action, you can do more with the network marketing business model than you ever imagined possible, because there's no upside limits to your income with this business model. There's none. The upside potential does not exist. The business model doesn't care who your parents were, where you grew up, what country you're in, what color your skin is, what your religion is. It doesn't care. The business model pays for performance. Okay, so personal development grew, spawned out of our network marketing, spawned out of the personal development movement. And it's so powerful because, I could stay at IBM and develop myself personally to the very best of my ability, but my upside potential at that company was limited. Like if you're working at a job, yours probably is as well. Even if you become the CEO, you have a limit. Here, there's no limit. There's no limit to the upside potential that you can create with this business model. So I believe it's not that difficult to develop confidence if that's a goal. As long as you're not neglecting it. If you're smart enough to say, I need to get more confident in this area, and I can get more confident, and I will get more confident. Confidence. What did Dan Kennedy say? Life is a game of confidence. Those who create it win. Those who neglect it lose. Guys, and see, that's wisdom. I mean, it's wisdom from multiple thought leaders over the past decades. So it's not that difficult to improve your confidence. Number one, you got to know why you're building a team. And you have to accept the fact that it's going to take mindsets that can be developed, but you probably don't have. And of course, it's obvious that for most people, there's not transferable skills, and they're going to have to develop skill sets that they probably don't have when they enter the profession. And then consistent daily action towards your reasons, towards your why, the consistency develops and refines your skill sets. And as long as you have the right mentorship, and I believe the number one mistake good people make is trying to accomplish their full potential with the skill sets and mindsets they enter the team building business model with. I just believe it. That's why everybody that we work with at any level, we have a weekly progress report that is completed every week, so we can make sure people are progressing and moving forward and consistently doing the activities and that will move their business forward. And if they run into a hurdle, then it's my job as a coach to recognize what that hurdle is and then provide them a book or something and some people it'll be a podcast session that can help them get through that and continue to move forward. As leaders, we've got to figure out who's going to break through their fear of failure, fear of rejection, and fear of what somebody else thinks. Who on our team can break through that? And it all comes back to their why, their reasons. If their reasons are strong enough, then they can break through the fear. If they're just hanging out because they like you and your team more than they do the ladies at choir practice, guess what? They're just going to hang out. They're not going to progress and break through their fears. And then we have to figure out the people that enter your team without the fear, that have transferable skills. We have to help them understand that getting their team plugged in to trainings like what you're hearing now is very, very important if they want to fulfill their true upside potential of this profession. Jim Rohn told us, formal education makes you a living. If you become self-educated, you create a fortune. Our job as leaders is to provide team members a clear path to follow. That's why a lot of you have heard us talk about how to get your business launched. And when you get your business launched, the goal is to get 50 confirmed no's as soon as possible. 50 confirmed no's as soon as possible, within 90 days. And most people that get involved in this profession never launch their business. They never launch it. They just kind of stick their big toe in the water and, when they think about it, they'll mention it to somebody and they just kind of hang out. They're a social club. And that's cool if that's why they're here. But if they tell you, I got to have a college fund for my child, it's leadership's responsibility to let them know that they're going to have to grow, expand their comfort zone, and do more than they've been doing if they expect to create that college fund for their child. Are y'all with me? So after the launch, it just comes down to lead generation. And the rub in this profession, without question, is, and what makes it so difficult, is we're building a volunteer army. That's why so many corporate managers have come into the network marketing industry and drastically failed, because they've never had to work building a volunteer army. It's a whole different ballgame. It's easy to build a bunch of people like hanging out with you, if that's what your focus is, and you have a pleasant personality and you have good looks and so on and so forth, that shallow people are attracted to, and they get to think that they're in business. The ones without confidence, when you're building a voluntary army, people that enter with fear of failure, fear of rejection, and they don't have the confidence level they need, is one part of it. And then the other part is people that have all the confidence in the world, but they have trouble understanding that they're not the issue and plugging into systems, and they start selling and talking too much. And in this profession, when you're building a voluntary army, it's the yin or the yang. You got those that have massive confidence and I think they're the issue. They're great at selling, so they sell. And then you have ones that have a lot of fear and they won't talk to anybody, and they don't understand they got to expand their comfort zone, and that they can expand their comfort zone. They can. So that's the yin and yangs of team building. And we all have different confidence levels in all aspects of life. I mean, I got friends that are awesome teachers and horse trainers. And I have a guy I work with, Sean Callan. If I wanted to know anything about hockey, the game hockey, which I know nothing about, don't plan on ever knowing anything about, but if I wanted to, I'd contact Sean. I'm working with Gordy that I mentioned earlier. He's the #1 bits and spurs rodeo world craftsman in the world. So understanding that the unity it takes, the unity that it really takes to build large duplicating organizations of people, is the blessing / curse that I'm born with. I get it. I get it at a level that it haunts me. And a lot of what I say is not popular because it goes against a lot of other things that people have been told, but I will defend it. And again, I understand some people they'll don't upset the apple cart. And I've had people, you just got to keep them excited and stupid. I've had people tell me that. The secret to building a team is keeping people ignorant and excited. That just makes me throw up in my mouth. I don't believe that. How do you get to the top of any field? Number one, you better know why you're doing it, reasons. Then you have to have an enormous amount of commitment. And, in network marketing, you have to have the right attitude, embrace disappointments. And then you've got to be consistent and persistent. And I think the most important entrepreneurial trait from this point on in history is focus, the ability to focus on that which will move your business forward. And then mentorship. Mentorship's not talked about near enough especially in today's network marketing world, because most of the people are 3%ers that think that they're the issue, that have transferable skills, and they don't want mentorship because they've got it all figured out. One of the most powerful things I can share with people, and I probably have on this podcast before, and a lot of you know I sincerely respect Jim Rohn. God bless his soul. Jim Rohn's touched so many lives, mine included, and so many people around the world. But Jim Rohn, and please hear this because this is so thought-provoking. See, I don't care who you are, where you are in your life right now. I don't care what you think your confidence level is. It doesn't matter. Your past doesn't equal your future doesn't equal your past unless you want it to, unless you decide to. at any certain time, at any time, especially within the network marketing business model, you can say, I'm going to pay the price. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going after it. I'm going to learn the proper skill sets and mindsets. And I know I'm not where I didn't have any transferable skills when I entered. Well, you know what? I didn't either. It's a 20-year-old snot-nosed kid. But I could learn from those. I could learn wisdom from people that have been down this path prior to me, and I could find the right mentor, and I did. Jim Rohn was a 25-year-old farm boy working at Sears, trying to support his family, broke, in debt, married, couple of children, 25 years old. 25 years old working at Sears. That's Jim Rohn. And that could have been Jim Rohn, and Jim Rohn could have followed that path. And Jim Rohn probably would have ended up, in his later years in a state of wistful regret, like so many people do. If only I'd done this, why didn't this happen? And then one day, a gentleman named Earl Schoaf walked into Sears, who became his mentor, exposed him to direct sales network marketing for the first time, and the rest is history. That gives me chills. If not for Earl Schoaf, what would I have missed out on? What would all of Jim Rohn fans missed out on? People that have learned that wisdom. But it came from Earl Schoaf. Earl Schoaf had a mentor. I can't recall his name right now, but Ron Henley could tell me. Your past doesn't equal your future unless you decide that you want it to. Phyllis Diller, I love this story. I've probably told it before. Phyllis Diller was a cleaning lady most of her life. She worked in big apartment buildings at night. She was a cleaning lady, big office complexes. And one night she was in the office complex and she was emptying the trash cans, into the big 30 or 50 gallon trash cans, the rubber ones on wheels. So she was going around to each office and emptying trash cans into the big ones so they could, clean the office. And she turned over a trash can in the office and a book fell out. And she reached down and picked it up, and it was called The Magic of Thinking Big. And she took it home. She took home The Magic of Thinking Big book, and she read it. And the book said, what do you have talent at? What do you like to do? And she thought, well, I'm a cleaning lady. I'm in my 50s. This is what I do. This is what I've always done. But when I was in high school, I remember I used to make people laugh. And through a new thought process, she decided, you know what? They have something called open mic night. I'm going to go down to one of these open mic nights. And I'm going to write a comedy routine. And she did. And she went. And she was a smash. And all the younger people supported her in her path, on her path to become a comedian. Many people say Phyllis Diller was the most hilarious female comedian ever produced in the world. The rest was history after that. But what if she hadn't found the book? More importantly, what if she hadn't taken it home and read the book? And the question I always like to ask and think about, what happened to the person that threw the book away? Then you have to follow a system, guys. The number one mistake made by great people with transferable skills is they never get that it's not about me, that my long-term success is in direct proportion to the number of leaders that are developed on my team. Systems can be duplicated. Personality can't be. They have the confidence that goes with ignorance. And unfortunately, ready, fire, aim is a very common entrepreneurial trait. That's why everything that we do, everything that we teach, it's very sequential. It's step by step. It's focused on the 5 core fundamentals. It's figuring out where people are and helping them to the best of our ability to understand. You got to be able to duplicate. And it just kind of is what it is. I can tell you that belief, as I've already said, is the foundation confidence must be built upon, not skills. It's not skills. It's belief. And in network marketing, it's not just belief in yourself. There's 4 beliefs. Number 1 is in the company. And that's why you should go to your company conferences. You should meet you should do a check on where your company owners, where are they coming from? What's their background? What's their experience? What have they done? What have they not done? So you need to have belief in the company. You need to have belief in your product. If you wouldn't use the product, if it wasn't part of a compensation plan, you're in the wrong business. So you have to have belief in the company, the product, the network marketing business model. And I will be one of the first to say, without question, in my mind, the network marketing business model has been broke for a long time. But it's being repaired. And there's some really great people and really great teams that understand. We work with 20 one-on-one top income earners in our Network Marketing Leadership Development Academy. Not people that can pay the $5,000 a year to become a member, but people that really, really are leaders. They're already 6-figure income before I ever met them, who understand that I have to systemize this to the point that it can be duplicated, just like a Starbucks or a McDonald's or anything else. And I have to help people grow. If you build people, people build a business. So I'm not a big fan of the network marketing business model, but I also love it. So I have a real love-hate relationship with network marketing. I love it. It changed my life. I believe in it. I believe there's nothing in the world that can give average people with above average desire the opportunity to live the lifestyle that this profession can. And it doesn't cost, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars for people to get started. I think network marketing should be leading the entrepreneurial revolution that's happening around the world. But there are 4 beliefs that everybody on your team must work towards: company, product, network marketing, and then themselves. There's no particular order, but all 4 beliefs are required. All of us are made up of opinions, attitudes, and beliefs as human beings. We've heard people say, well, social media is full of people that feel obligated to share their opinion about that which they know nothing about. It's disheartening. Social media is a mirror of the state, the mindsets of people around the world. And it can be real disheartening. That's why I try not to pay any attention to it. If it wasn't for my wife, I would miss most of my family's posts and updates. And I hate that, but it is what it is. All of us are made up of opinions, attitudes, and beliefs. And an attitude is much stronger than an opinion. Attitude's strong. You've heard people say, well, they got an attitude about that. And then a belief. A belief is a belief is a belief. Most of us can count our true beliefs on our 10 fingers and our 10 toes. True beliefs. So in network marketing, your team member always has to be working towards belief in those 4 areas: the company, the product, the industry, and themselves. It takes all 4. Now, they don't have to have, level 10 belief, but you have to have belief. And what happens a lot of times, people start brand new and they try to compare their beliefs with people that have been around for a while. So how do you help people develop belief? In the company, look at this management, look at the track record, attend company events, look at the support of the websites, the back end, that type of thing. And then, do they have an advisory board? Will they listen? There's some network marketing companies that ownership is totally, you can't track them down. You don't know who owns them. That's not a good sign. Then you have to have belief in the product. And, would you use the product? Look at if it's, what are other people saying about the product as far as testimonies? Is there any type of scientific studies behind the product? That type of thing? Or is it just something that somebody's just, formulating in a lab somewhere, and then they've got to, build hype around it? So 4 beliefs: company, the product, the network marketing business model, We're doing everything we can to get wisdom of the ages principles into the marketplace. And I know a lot of you guys share these podcasts with people on your team, and we so appreciate that. And I think my biggest draw is people think, oh my gosh, if that kid from that guy that started as a 20-year-old kid from a little 400 population town in Kentucky can create millions of dollars and help hundreds of people create six-figure incomes, and I should be able to do this, and that's cool. But you have to have belief in yourself. This is why confidence is so important, and why on this podcast we spend so much time talking about proper mindsets, as much time talking about proper mindsets as we do skill sets. I used to tell people when we were building, give us a year and we'll change your life for the better. Give us a year. And I would tell people listen to this podcast, same thing. I tell everybody, MLM Training Club members, the 27% Success Club members, everything that we're doing, I would tell you the exact same thing. Give us a year, we'll change your life. I tell people, look, programming your mind for success, I only open it once a year. It's the most expensive product that we offer. And I don't care what you have to do, sell it something. But it's important. It's critical. It's critical. It's critical. And, and I would tell you the same about your ability to develop your confidence in any area that you want to develop confidence in. There's only 7 key areas of life, really 7: mental, family, financial, career, spiritual, social, and physical. And if you focus in those 7 key areas and become the best you can become in those 7 key areas and let all the other fluff stuff just pay no attention to it, you can grow, learn, and develop in all aspects of life. I've been talking about the wheel of life, as many of you know, for many years. So the network marketing business model, what we have to understand, here's my personal opinion, it's so powerful that it's here in spite of itself. That's what I truly believe. Network marketing is responsible for $180 billion in sales worldwide. I believe and have confidence in the ability to help people and share with people how to build systematic teams to help everyone on their team, whether they're there for a couple $100 a month or, $1 million a year, to help everybody on their team maximize their upside potential. Because I think it has to be built sequentially. So again, as I stated, how is confidence really built? The proven, predictable path to team building, confidence, and success is belief. You're responsible for developing your 4 beliefs in the company, the product, the network marketing business model, and yourself. It's your responsibility to work towards belief, as it is every person on your team. But you have to be working towards it. You have to, because belief leads to action. Consistent action. Y'all have heard me say consistent effort doesn't always bring consistent results, but it always brings success. And consistent action is what develops skills when you're consistent. If you want to learn how to play the piano, practice 30 minutes a day for 5 days a week. Not sit down for 3 hours, once a month. Consistent daily action. That's why the 27% Success gamification platform that I talk about a lot is so powerful. It's because of the consistent daily action. It's powerful. So, skill development, positive results. Skill development is created, and once you have skills, then you're going to create positive results because the law of averages dictates it. Once you get positive results, your confidence really starts to grow. And then as you expand marketing methods and a growing team, because you're teaching what you've learned to them systematically, then all your reasons will be fulfilled with this business model. I sincerely believe that. Engagement, a level of focus and seriousness is 1,000% required. Network marketing, let me say that again. Engagement, daily engagement focus and seriousness is required. Everybody wants to talk about lifestyle and, get wealthy, just, at the coffee shop and all that stuff. And there's business models that allow that for some, but network marketing ain't one of them. It's not. It's not. It takes dedication, focus, seriousness, the right mentorship, and all the mustard that you can stir up to move forward for 97% of the people that enter this profession. And again, everything that we do is around the 27% because 70% are going to die broke no matter what I say, anybody else says. But the network marketing, the 27%ers have not been challenged. And as I've said many times, the choice is, as a leader, you can appeal to mediocrity or inspire greatness. One or the other. Appeal to mediocrity or inspire greatness. And it's much easier to tell people what they want to hear and high-five them and call them a rock star and appeal to their mediocrity to keep them on auto ship one more month than it is to attempt to help people learn, develop, become all they can become. Network marketing has become a social club environment where people can have business cards printed, calling themselves an entrepreneur or CEO, and then hang out with other delusional people that are nicer than the ladies at choir practice, and that will call them a rock star every now and then. That's network marketing. Network marketing has become a social club environment where people can have business cards printed and hang out with other delusional people that are nicer than the ladies at choir practice and will call them a rock star every now and then. Okay, not on this podcast, not on anything that we ever write, anything that we ever say, anything that we ever do. I don't believe in that. I believe that every person has the ability that within them, with the network marketing business model, that what the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. I believe that. But I know it's going to take a lot of work, more work than they can even think about. But if they're up for it, then I want to be the person. I want to be the organization through Network Marketing Support Services that we don't sugarcoat it, that we tell people what we know to be true. I love this. I'm going to close with this. I'm closing now. Life is a confidence game. Those who create it win. Those who neglect it lose. Life is a confidence game. What can you do to develop your belief so you can start working towards developing true, again, belief. Belief leads to action. Consistent action develops skills. Developed and refined skills will create positive results. Positive results create confidence. Once you have confidence, and you can expand your marketing methods, you can create a growing team, and all the reasons that you came to this profession are here for you. And that's how you really develop unstoppable confidence. Life is a confidence game. Those who create it win. Those who neglect it lose. I hope this has spoke to you. I hope you share it with anybody on your team that needs it. Thank you for being with me. This is Dale Calvert. I'll talk to you again next week on another session of the MLMSuccess.com podcast. All previous episodes are available online to listen to anytime you guys want at MLMSuccess.com. If I've missed something, if I've left something out, feel free, guys. Always feel free. Give me your feedback. I just have a problem and a challenge when people are told the way to develop confidence, and it starts out if you're skillful. And what that's really saying is if you invest in trainings that will help you develop skills is the hidden message there, and it has nothing to do with that. You got to have belief. It starts with belief. As you believe, so shall it be done unto you. Belief leads to action. 4 beliefs: the company, the product, the network marketing business model when done correctly, and then in yourself. And I know that everybody listening to my voice today, if you decide, can truly develop unstoppable confidence. That's my hope, my prayer for you. Have a great week. This is Dale Calvert. Talk to you next week.
If you haven't gone over to iTunes yet and rated and left this podcast a review, what are you waiting for? At Calvert Marketing Group, we want to spend our time on the projects that we know are providing the most value for our clients and customers. You leaving us a review and feedback on iTunes is something that helps us more than you realize. And more importantly, it helps others like you find us. So if you've not taken the time to rate this podcast, please go over to iTunes and do that for us now. It will only take a couple of minutes out of your busy schedule. Work harder on yourself than you do on your business, and we will be back next week with another inspiring success story, wisdom of the ages training, or answers to your questions.